Have you ever opened your refrigerator, pulled out last night's dinner, warmed it up and thought, good, I'm not wasting food? That sounds smart. It saves money, it saves time. And for many families, leftovers are just normal life. But here's what most people are never told. Some foods become very different after they're cooked, cooled, stored, and reheated. Not always dangerous. Not always something to panic about. But different enough that, especially after 60, your body may not handle them the same way it did when you were younger. Your digestion slows down. Blood sugar control can become more sensitive. The immune system may not respond as quickly. And organs like the pancreas, liver, and gut have to work harder to keep everything balanced. So today, from here in the Robert Hale Health Clinic, I want to walk you through 6 common leftover foods that deserve extra care before you reheat them. And before we begin, if you want simple, honest health guidance for real everyday life, subscribe to Robert Hale Health and tap the like button. It helps this channel reach more people who need practical health information, especially adults over 50 and 60. Now let's start with the one almost everyone has sitting in the kitchen at some point: fried foods. Maybe it is fried chicken, fries, onion rings, fried fish, or something cooked in oil from the night before. The next day, most people want to bring back that crispy texture, so they either microwave it or put it back into a pan with more oil. That is where the problem begins. When oil is heated the first time, especially common vegetable oils used for frying, it begins to break down. That does not mean one fried meal will ruin your health, but when oil is heated again and again, or when fried food is reheated at high heat, the oil continues to oxidize. Think of it like this. Fresh oil is like a clean road. Once it has been heated, that road starts to crack. Heat it again, and those cracks get wider. At a chemical level, overheated oils can produce irritating compounds that create more stress inside the body. For younger people, the body may clear that stress more easily. But after 60, when inflammation, blood sugar changes, and slower digestion are already more common, this repeated habit can become a problem. A lot of people say, Robert, I only reheat it. I'm not cooking it again. But reheating fried food in oil is cooking it again. And if you do that several times a week, your body is repeatedly dealing with oxidized fats. The safer choice is simple. Do not refry leftover fried food. If you want it warm, use dry heat. Put it in an oven or air fryer at a moderate temperature. Do not add more oil. And if the food smells rancid, greasy, or old, throw it away. Food is not worth risking your health over. The second food is processed meat. This includes bacon, sausage, hot dogs, deli meat, ham, salami, pepperoni, canned meat, and similar foods. Now, let me be clear. I am not saying one slice of bacon will destroy your health. That is not how health works. But processed meats already come with concerns because they are often cured, smoked, salted, or preserved. Many of them contain nitrates or nitrites, and when they are exposed to high heat, certain unwanted compounds may form. The problem gets worse when people reheat them the wrong way. For example, someone cooks sausage in the morning, leaves some in the fridge, then microwaves it again the next day until it is dry, sizzling, and almost rubbery. Or they refry bacon in a pan to make it crispy again. That high heat reheating is not ideal. For adults over 60, processed meats should not be treated like an everyday health food. They are better as occasional foods, not daily staples. If you do eat them, keep portions small. Heat them gently. Do not burn them. Do not fry them twice. And try to replace them more often with fresh eggs, beans, fish, chicken, turkey, or other less processed proteins. Your body does not need perfection. It needs better patterns. The third food surprises people because it is usually considered healthy: spinach and leafy greens. Spinach, kale, beet greens, celery leaves, and other leafy vegetables are full of nutrients. They can be excellent for heart health, digestion, and overall wellness. But once leafy greens are cooked, stored, and reheated, you need to handle them carefully. Leafy greens naturally contain nitrates. In fresh vegetables, that is not automatically bad. In fact, nitrates from vegetables can be part of a healthy diet. But when cooked greens sit for too long, especially if they were not cooled and refrigerated properly, bacteria and natural reactions can change some nitrates into nitrites. Then, with repeated heating, the chemistry can move further in a direction you do not want. Again, I do not want you scared of spinach. Spinach is not the enemy. The issue is cooking a large batch, letting it sit, reheating it multiple times, and eating it day after day. The better method is this: cook only what you need for that meal. If you have leftover cooked spinach or greens, cool them quickly and refrigerate them. Eat them the next day if they smell and look fresh. And if possible, use them cold in a salad, wrap, or bowl instead of heating them again and again. A cold spinach chicken salad, a cold grain bowl with greens, or a wrap with cooked greens can still be healthy without repeated reheating. The fourth food is one of the most important: rice. Rice is not dangerous by itself. Millions of people eat rice every day. The danger comes from how it is stored. Raw rice can carry spores of a bacterium called Bacillus cereus. Cooking kills many bacteria, but spores can survive. If cooked rice is left sitting at room temperature for too long, those spores can wake up, multiply, and produce toxins. Here is the part many people do not know. Reheating may kill bacteria, but it may not destroy toxins that already formed while the rice was sitting out. That is why rice safety is mostly about what happens before reheating. If you cook rice and leave the whole pot sitting on the counter for hours, then refrigerate it later, you may already have a problem. The microwave cannot always fix what happened during storage. So here is the Robert Hale Health rule for rice. Cool it quickly. Do not leave it sitting out for hours. Put it into shallow containers so it cools faster. Refrigerate it as soon as possible. When you reheat it, heat it until it is steaming hot all the way through. Stir it so there are no cold spots. And do not reheat the same rice again and again. For seniors, people with diabetes, people with weaker immunity, and anyone with stomach problems, this matters even more. And if you open a container of rice and it smells strange, looks slimy, or you are not sure how long it sat out, do not gamble, throw it away. The fifth food is chicken. Chicken is healthy when cooked and stored correctly. It is high in protein and can be part of a very good diet for older adults. But leftover chicken is one of those foods people often reheat badly. Here is the common mistake. Someone takes a thick chicken breast or chicken thigh from the fridge, puts it in the microwave for 2 minutes, touches the outside, feels that it is hot, and starts eating. But microwaves do not always heat evenly. The outside can be hot while the center is still lukewarm. These cooler areas are called cold spots. And cold spots can allow bacteria to survive if the food was not handled properly. That is why reheating chicken is not just about making it warm. It is about making it hot all the way through. The safer way is to cut chicken into smaller pieces before reheating. Add a little water or broth if needed. Cover the dish. Heat it evenly. Stir or turn the pieces halfway through. Let it rest for a minute or two so the heat spreads. And if you have a food thermometer, the safe target is 165 degrees Fahrenheit. An oven can also work well because it heats more evenly, especially if you cover the chicken with foil so it does not dry out. And remember, cold chicken can be perfectly fine if it was cooked and stored safely. You can use it in a salad, sandwich, or wrap. You do not always have to reheat it. Sometimes the safest reheating method is not reheating at all. The sixth food is potatoes. Potatoes are another food people misunderstand. A plain potato is not the problem. A baked potato, boiled potato, or roasted potato can fit into many diets. But leftover potatoes can create issues depending on how they are stored and reheated. First, potatoes are starchy. When they are cooked at high heat, especially fried or roasted until very dark and crispy, certain compounds can form on the brown surface. The darker and more burnt the potato becomes, the less ideal it is. Second, many people reheat potatoes in oil to bring back the crispy texture. That means you are combining starch, high heat, and reheated oil, not the best combination for long-term health. Third, potatoes can affect blood sugar, especially when served hot and eaten in large portions. For someone with diabetes, prediabetes, insulin resistance, or belly weight gain after 60, this is something to pay attention to. Interestingly, when cooked potatoes are cooled, some of the starch can become resistant starch. That type of starch is digested more slowly. This is one reason cold potato salad, made in a healthier way, may affect blood sugar differently than a big plate of hot fried potatoes. So what should you do? Do not refry leftover potatoes. Do not burn them trying to make them crispy again. If you want them warm, heat them gently. If they are roasted, use the oven at a moderate temperature. If they are boiled, warm them with steam or low heat. And consider eating cooled potatoes in a simple potato salad with olive oil, vinegar, herbs, and vegetables, instead of mayonnaise-heavy versions. That gives you a better option without turning potatoes into a high-heat, oily leftover. Now let's bring this together. The message today is not never eat leftovers. Leftovers can be safe. Leftovers can be practical. Leftovers can help families save money. The real issue is reheating certain foods the wrong way. So here are the rules I want you to remember. Rule number 1. Cool leftovers quickly. Do not leave cooked food sitting on the counter for hours. Rule number 2. Store leftovers in shallow containers so they cool evenly. Rule number 3. Reheat only the portion you plan to eat. Do not keep warming the same container again and again. Rule number 4. Reheat food until it is hot all the way through, not just warm on the outside. Rule number 5. Be extra careful with rice, chicken, processed meats, fried foods, leafy greens, and potatoes. Rule number 6. When in doubt, throw it out. I know that last rule can be hard, especially if you were raised not to waste food. But your health is worth more than a container of leftovers. And after 60, the small habits matter more. Not because your body is weak, but because your body deserves less unnecessary stress. Your pancreas helps control your blood sugar. Your gut helps control inflammation and immunity. Your liver helps process what you eat. These organs work quietly every day. They do not ask for attention until something goes wrong. So give them a little help. Reheat smarter, store food faster, avoid burning, refrying, and reheating again and again. And please remember, this video is for general education. It is not a diagnosis, and it is not personal medical advice. If you have diabetes, cancer history, digestive problems, immune system issues, or you are taking medications that affect your health, talk with your own doctor or dietitian before making major diet changes.